Yo, what up, Yugi Dodo fam? It is your boy, Yugi Dodo. So, in this episode, I promised we would look at that structure deck, the Sorcerer's Alliance. So let's go ahead and go in there and look at what the contents are. So, Sorcerer's Alliance, you're limited to buying one structure deck. Each additional structure deck costs $3.99, so be cautious of that. So in this Sorcerer's Alliance structure deck, you get 1 Trance the Magic Swordsman, 2600 attack, 1 Tribute Monster, he's pretty good. You get, I believe, 2 Man with Wijat. So when you normal summon this card, and during each of your standby phases, select 1 set card on your opponent's side of the field, pick it up and look at it, and then return it to its original position. Not bad. 2 Magical Undertakers, it's a flip monster. You can target a 1 level 4 or lower spellcaster type monster in your graveyard, special summon that target. You get 3 Neo the Magic Swordsmans, 1700 attack. It's pretty bueno. And then you get 2 Spell Wall. This card, not that great. But let's go ahead and read it. Activate one of these effects, your opponent takes no further damage this turn. During this turn, no summon of a spellcaster type monster can be negated, and when a spellcaster type monster is summoned, your opponent cannot activate cards or effects. Or target 1 spellcaster type monster you control. If it attacks this turn, your opponent cannot activate cards or effects until the end of the damage step. So you're not going to be doing any damage, but it can't stop the attack. And then you get 2 Book of Secret Arts, just an equipped spell, adding 300 attack and defense to your spellcaster. 1 Destructive Draw. This card can be more of a unnecessary card than the rest, but let's go ahead and read it. If either player has no cards in their hand at the start of their draw phase, they can draw 1 more card in addition to their normal draw. Not terrible. This card's controller loses 700 life points during their end phase. Okay. If less than 700, they become 0 instead, so this card can kill you. When this face-up card is removed from the field, inflict 3,000 damage to the player who controlled it. Ouch. You only have 4,000, folks. 1 Soul Rope. When a monster you control is destroyed by a card effect and sent to the graveyard, except during the damage step, pay 1,000 life points, special summon 1 level 4 monster from your deck. 2 ready for intercepting? No, just 1. 1 ready for intercepting. Target 1 warrior or spellcaster type monster on the field. Change that target to face down defense position. 2 Rope of Life. So we have 2 rope cards. I don't know why that was a thing, but Rope of Life. When a monster is destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, discard your entire hand, minimum of 1. Then target one of those monsters, special summon it. If you do, it gains 800 attack. Not terrible. And then you get 3 Illusory Gentlemans. So he's a 1500 attack, 1600 defense, normal type spellcaster monster, which is not bad. But that's the entire structure deck. It is 20 cards. So first thoughts on this deck. Obviously, you're not going to be wanting to play any spell walls or destructive draw. I chose not to play Soul Rope just because it's pretty, I guess, hard to activate card. But let's go ahead and take a look at the changes I made to the deck. So, you go in here, just kidding, don't go in there. Let's go ahead and go to the card studio. So whenever you buy a structure deck, it opens a slot in the deck editor for structure decks at the very top. So you go up there and it gives you the entire deck as I showed it to you a minute ago, and you can copy that deck to whatever slot you want, and then you can make your own adjustments. So here's my Sorcerer's Alliance deck that I've adjusted. So I put in both of the Man with Wijats, I put in the trio of Neos, and all 3 Illusory Gentlemans, because it's very important to note that This deck is better with Yugi Moto because of his effect of Power of Dark, so you want to make sure that you turn this on. So Power of Dark begins the duel with this field spell Yami activated. So the field spell Yami gives Spellcaster and Fiend-type monsters 200 attack and defense. So that makes all your Neos 1900s, your Man with Jats 1800s, and your Illusory Gentlemen 1700s with 1800 defense with a pretty big booty. I chose to only play one Magical Undertaker. I saw that it would probably have not a very great place, just because how many times am I going to want to set this monster starting out? I put in one Magical Exemplar, which I opened out of the Dawn of Destiny pack. So it's a 1700 attack Spellcaster, which is going to be another 1900 under Yami. And each time a spell card is activated, you can place 2 spell counters on this card when that spell card resolves. Once per turn, you can remove any number of spell counters from this card, special summon one Spellcaster type monster from your hand or graveyard whose level is equal to the number of spell counters you removed. So all you have to do is activate 3 spell cards with this card on the field, giving you 6 spell counters, and you can special summon your Trance Magic Swordman from your hand. Not terrible. And I went ahead and put in that Tribute to the Doomed. It's just a pretty good removal card here in the early game. So go ahead and added that. Put in the Banner of Courage. And I put in this card from the Arcana drop that I got. And it's not a great card, I'll just be honest, but I thought it might be fun just to roll the dice every once in a while. So you select one monster card and 2 non-monster cards from your hand. Your opponent randomly selects one among them. If it is the monster card, it is special summon and send the remaining 2 cards to the graveyard. If not, send them all. So it is a little bit of a chance card. You have a 33% chance of having your monster chosen. But I thought it sounded like an okay addition, because if I'm going to lose the game, I might as well just roll the dice, right? So I put in the 3 Good Goblin Housekeepings. It's just a good enough draw card at this point in the game that I might as well be in here. I kept the Ready for Intercepting because I figured it's one of the least situational cards we have for traps, because it's a warrior or spellcaster, which is a pretty broad spectrum. And then I kept in both of the Rope of Lives just to see if I could actually get the effect to resolve. But everything else has been taken out and replaced. So that is what I'm running with. I'll be honest that this deck is not that great. The Dragons structure deck, unfortunately, is much better than this one. So if you chose Kaiba, go ahead and choose that. But if you have Yami, Yugi, or Yugi Moto, this one is not a bad pickup just because of his Power of Dark skill. But yeah, the Dragon one pretty much outclasses this one by a lot. And you'll see that in a future video, probably whenever we unlock Kaiba. If you chose Yugi at the beginning of the game, you get Kaiba at stage 15. If you chose Kaiba at the beginning of the game, you get Yugi at stage 15. So we'll be unlocking him shortly. We're at stage 11, so we'll get that video rolling out soon. But let's go ahead and do one video of gameplay. So I gotta go ahead and change the deck I'm playing. We'll go ahead and play it against the Vagabond. No, that's not a great person to play it against. So this Vagabond we're going to be playing with an opening hand of 2 cards. So that will hurt our consistency a bit. But I've only lost 2 total games so far in this game since restarting Duel Links. One of them has been with the Naturia deck, but the other one and first one was with this deck after I first built it. Yeah, it has a pretty high chance of bricking, unfortunately. I opened like the 1 tribute card and like 4 spells and traps, a combination of, and it was just not a good time. I literally lost to an opponent that was using like 800 attack monsters. It was just really sad. But this opening hand's not terrible. So we do have an 1800 defense monster with Illusory Gentleman, and we do have a defensive trap card. We'll see if it actually can be played. the Naturia one I also bricked. So the only reasons I've lost so far is not because of bad gameplay, just because of bricking and having dead hands. I drew all my tribute monsters from the Naturia deck, which is a chance that we are taking. So we drew the Rope of Life, which is dead since we don't have a hand of one card, but we can put it there as a bluff card. So he has a 1500 attack monster. During your draw phase, if you draw a dark monster, you can reveal any number of them, send them to your graveyard, then you draw one more. Okay, so he's actually gaining a boost from my Yami, unfortunately. You can see that by clicking on it. But we can still attack over him. Let's go ahead and do that. And he has the Sphere Karibo. Oh well. We have 1800 attack, he can't get over us yet. So this 2-card opening is not as bad as it could have been, especially since we just tuned our 1 tribute monster, which will be able to strike over anything he has. It gains the 200 boost as well, so it's at 2800 starting out. Although it only has 400 defense with the boost, so that is one way to lose a game too. If he had that Sphere Karibo this turn, I would have been just in a really bad position. Alright, we could draw another monster, that'd be great. Good Goblin Housekeeping, alright. So as you can see, the consistency is really hurt in this deck compared to that Naturia deck. I mean, we're already on turn 7 up here, turn 8 for the Vagabond. And it is just not looking good. And he just special summoned a Dark Necrofear, which is really bad. Okay, a Banner of Courage. Let's use the Good Goblin Housekeeping, see what we get. Okay. It's actually kind of a hard choice. Wish I could. Okay, ready for intercepting. And this Soul Rope or whatever it's called. I think I'm gonna have to put back the Neo just because. Well, no, I'll put the Banner of Courage back. I'm gonna put this Neo out as a lure to kill this Dark Necrofear. And, oh, yeah, I forgot to turn this back on. Oh well. No big deal. I was just going to change it to defense position so I wouldn't take any damage, but it's no big deal. Unfortunately, if I kill Dark Necrofear, he will be able to take control of my monster at the end phase. But I think it's worth taking the chance because I will be able to use that ready for intercepting to protect myself. So he takes control of it. You know, he's being a little reckless. Oh crap. Man, I keep doing that. So that's why the toggle button is not that great. You forget to use your effects. And I just lost this game even though I probably had a chance of winning. So I'm just forgetful. I forgot to turn the toggle on. Otherwise I would use the ready for intercepting, put him in defense, attacked over him on my next turn. So just unfortunate, but as you can see the deck has a high chance to brick. We just unlocked a Dark Magic attack. So it's not my favorite deck right now. It is an option. I only have 2 decks built and this is one of them. I'm sure I'll start unlocking more cards that will make this deck better. But as it stands, I would give this deck a 5 out of 10. I would not buy it unless if you have Yugi, and if you have Kaiba, definitely do not buy this deck. The Dragons deck is 10 times better, and you will see that in a future video. So, Dodos, that is going to be it for this video, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye.